Oh, after what feels like many weeks, it is on like Donkey Kong. The new Curse of Moon Quay update for Don't Starve Together is officially out now, everyone. We've got ourselves a new animation. We have a plethora of changes that might be the biggest drop of content we have seen in years. And to top it all off, Clay even dumped a crap ton of skins for this update. Like, more than we maybe have ever seen. It's honestly insane, folks. And while we have been monkeying around with the update for literal weeks, I do feel like we should have one last announcement video and one last celebration of all the new stuff. But before we do some brief reading and have ourselves an overview of the update we've been covering like crazy, let's start with the special stuff, right? Like a login bonus. A login bonus that is actually a login chest that just so happens to have 4 separate hat skins, folks. 2 bandana skins and 2 tricorn hat skins. Okay, you know what? I'm actually starting to feel good about having 18 million bandanas in my game. And number 2 here, a potentially sneaky change, as I imagine some folk don't even know what the Clay rewards page is. But don't worry, I'll be leaving a link for it down below. But on said page, we can get both the PerpetualPiglets as well as the Banana Dana, folks. Absolutely wonderful. We'll talk more skins, though, in a later video. Batten down the hatches, survivors. We've got another swell update for you. In one of our largest updates to date, we've got all kinds of good stuff for you today. The Curse of Moon Quay is here, folks, and someone has been meddling, or should we say, monkeying around with the forces of the constant, leaving an unstable rift between worlds in their wake. With new seafaring foes, creatures, and resources now free to pour into the survivor's world, the ocean is more dangerous than ever before. But is this just the start of what's to come? But what exactly will you be enjoying if you have been one to avoid the beta contents? Well, a lot. So much so that maybe you shouldn't have avoided the beta contents. But of course, the biggest themes of the updates are the Moon Quay Island, the Powder Monkeys, and Wonky. All 3 go hand in hand for sure, and all 3 absolutely bleed into a 4th topic that should be thrown into the mix, the new Unnatural Portal. Powder Monkeys are a new, essentially neutral mob now that are gonna steal your stuff, sure, but they won't bother us unless we bother them. The Moon Quay Island itself is what houses most of these Powder Monkeys, that very same Unnatural Portal, and also has transplantable reeds and bananas and much more. But finally, Wonky and the Moon Quay Curse. In short, every powder monkey is dropping this trinket, and if you get 10 of those trinkets, you become a monkey yourself, and it comes with a whole mess of changes, and it's kind of interesting, but also a little weird, so you're gonna have to see for yourself. But what's this? Powder monkeys are not just on the island, you say? Oh, no. Say hello to pirate raids, folks. The closer we get to the island, or actually specifically the Queen, the more chances we will have to encounter these things. That said, they can spawn quite a ways from the island, and we've learned more throughout time here. They also just got a very recent hotfix, as in just yesterday, that makes them a little less annoying. We're not going to have crazy numbers of Powder Monkey and a captain to deal with, even in the early game. We gotta get past day 60, and then things get pretty not great. But why do them at all? Oh, my friends. Polly Roger. Their treasure is also going to be filled with some pretty other interesting things, including our stolen loot that they get away with. But Polly Roger is a new friend that literally picks up all the loot for us and brings it to our inventories. That's the gist. He's amazing. It's awesome. Now, Clay themselves, for whatever reason, actually put Polly Roger underneath all the boating stuff. But I gotta say, I think there's enough boating stuff for that not having to be the case. We obviously have a new grass boat, which is a smaller, way more accessible boat that might take a little more damage now than it did in the beta, but trust me, it's still our ticket for super early game seafaring. Kelp and shell bumpers, while probably a little gimmicky for most, are still absolutely essential, I think, because they can really save our boats from taking any damage, because guess what? They're bumpers. They save our boats from damage by taking it themselves. Cannons and cannonballs started out awful, but after a few hot fixes, trust me everyone, they are much better, including after yesterday's hot fix that doubled their damage, mind you, to 320 per shot potentially, and yes, they can now be aimed, in case you missed that in any of these videos. Plus, cannons will scare away those ocean privateers if you don't feel like fighting them. But moving on here, the Rudder and the Trawler have kind of been the outliers for me. I mean, it's really cool to be able to turn the boat now, but you don't have to do it as much as you did before, now that cannons are aimable, so rudders are really only for the bumpers. And while trawlers are indeed capable of automatically fishing things even when we are not near them, to get the most out of them, you still kind of have to manually do everything for them, and that to me just isn't really a fish farm. I still believe that these should have just been automatic fish farms. Docks are next though, and these absolutely have potential. While they cannot be built in some deeper waters, we can now essentially make the bridges between water gaps an actual thing without having to make boat bridges. And yes, we can build on docks, but we cannot pitchfork them. At least not yet. But finally, on that very same note potentially, for all you seafarers out there, the Nautopilots and Nautopilot beacons are probably gonna be in that same boat. These things, after, once again, yesterday's hotfix, now make boat caravans so much easier and way safer. You can have like 5 or 6 boats behind you at all times. So there you go. There's our ticket to, well, I guess, bigger boats nowadays. But yes, as I've been preaching every time I can, the actual Moon Quay update stuff isn't actually the only things getting updates. There's a map change, which I personally didn't like, so I turned it off immediately. But hey, give it a try. It's out now. And lastly, do not ignore that cactus is now a part of world regrowth. Meaning that even if you burn every single cactus in the game, eventually they will come back. And they grow throughout all seasons. Summer is just gonna be the better one. It's great stuff. And I'll be honest, folks, as we continue to move on here with some brief looks at the skins, most of this update is up there in being really cool and important, even if I don't like half of it. But I do like what I'm seeing out of these next few skins, folks. These right here are the new Twitch drops. So, head over to Twitch right now, start watching a Drops-enabled streamer or a Clay ambassador, wait 6 hours, and a new boat skin is yours. Or you know, don't do that and maybe just buy or weave another boat skin that's going a little more metal-y, folks. This is interesting. I have a feeling I know who influenced this. Haven't seen the animation yet at the filming of this video, but I'm guessing this is an homage to Wagstaff. And finally, we are even gonna get 9 character skins in this update, folks. That's massive. Twitch drop, character skins, item skins, those login bonuses, and the Clay rewards. Oh my goodness. This upcoming skins video is gonna be longer than several others combined. And to wrap up our day, another cheeky Clay tease that goes on about saying how they can't tease us with anything while teasing us with something. Folks, the next update is apparently a character refresh, and I gotta say, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was gonna be the quality of life one first. And how do I know it's a character refresh? Well, because they say we're not far away from the next character refresh. And unfortunately, apparently, there isn't a single frame of the short that they can't share with us that isn't going to be a spoiler, as there's only a few survivors left. But they implore us to not lose sleep over it, as we're going to have plenty to check out soon. And who doesn't lose sleep in this game? None other than the librarian herself. Yes, indeed, folks. It's looking like Wickerbottom is on the horizon. And there you have it, everyone. No, not an outro with us scrolling through the post again, but an outro giving us a glimpse of the animation that we will soon be watching. Guys, here was just another rundown of the Curse of Moon Quay update. An update that is absolutely massive. The thing is, though, we've kind of already covered how massive it actually is. Seriously, everyone, with all them hotfix videos I already made for this update, on top of the original topics for the updates, I'm pretty sure we have this thing covered from top to bottom. And besides, it's out now in its official capacity, meaning you can get out there on the high seas right now. So from here on out, it's looking like we're gonna be singing some sea shanties for them powder monkeys. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. Enjoy the new content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.